And good afternoon. This is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and we are here today to talk about Congo, talking about Congo, another episode. And our subject for today is don't wait for a certificate. I'd like to thank all you all for stopping by today, who are catching me on the live broadcast, and for those ones who are catching me on a rebroadcast or sometime later. Thank you all for listening in. Anyway, you still will get the same value that you if you were here live because we do it live. So, what is the idea behind don't wait for a certificate? It's a popular, and I say popular in both the United States to a certain extent, and also especially in developing countries, that people want degrees and certificates because it proves to people, it's a piece of paper that documents that they have received a certain type of training, that they're qualified. And what that qualifies them for is a job. You know, you got a teaching certificate. Oh, you can get a job teaching. If you got a degree in engineering, you can be an engineer. If you got a degree in blah, 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 you can be whatever it entails. However, that does not necessarily stop you without having a certificate or degree. It does not stop you from being an entrepreneur, entering into entrepreneurship. And that is the where you can succeed at, because I know in the Congo, jobs are not readily available. There's, to me, I've seen different statistics, you know, 30, 40% unemployment. So therefore, you're not going to get a job. But the more time you spend towards getting degrees, you're wasting your time and maybe even wasting money. I'm sure you're wasting money, and that you're spending hard-earned money to get a degree. And there's a lot of people in the Congo walking around with degrees without jobs. They're looking for jobs. I see a lot of them come by and ask me, "You got a job?" And I think, no, don't have a job. But that's not to say that education is not is important. Education is important. Knowledge of doing things is important. Just like when the Grameen Bank started, and they started also the Village Telephone Project, they work with uneducated, untrained women, but they educated them and trained them. They didn't haul off and give them a certificate, and it was not something that they could do. I mean, that they would do. But they gave them the necessary training to do their job and to be entrepreneurs and to uh, count money or whatever else that was necessary. So all of it revolves around entrepreneurs and entrepreneurships. And that's small business. That's people getting out, whether you're selling peanuts or you're selling salt, or you running your own uh, sell your company, are you running your whatever you're doing it for yourself. And so you don't need a degree to prove to yourself that you can do the job. I mean, it's on the job training, and you can prove that, hey, I can do this, and you do it, and you don't need a degree to boast to yourself to say, "Oh, I need a degree so that I can prove to myself that I can make money by doing XYZ. So, and what Dr. Eunice has always said is that people have been entrepreneurs from the beginning of time because it's key to survival. We, as cavemen and cave women, we learned how to trade even when before there was money to actually buy stuff. We learned how to trade and survive. So therefore, those skills are innate in us, and but we have become so enamored with education and having that degree or that certificate. And I mean, in some fields, it's okay to have certificates and things like that. I would not be where I'm at today if I did not have a degree, then and also had certificates and stuff like that. But it's not necessary in a developing country where you're trying to solve a basic human need problem. You're out trying to sell, you out trying to provide basic needs that they do not have, and you don't need a degree certificate for those type of things. So I remember when we were doing water training, teaching uh, health people on how to do training for water testing. Uh, I was surprised we had our lesson plan together and so forth, and had gave that to the basically the contracting officers, showing them what we were going to do. They were all happy, and then we got to the end, and they go, "Where is the certificate that you're going to give them?" And I go, certificate? Hadn't thought about it. So luckily, I had a copy of electronic copy of a certificate. So we made out certificates for everybody, and they were very proud of those certificates, and we gave them out. But in water quality testing, it was kind of one of those things where we thought about if they were actually out there doing some water quality testing, some government official may come up and ask them what gives them the authority, how can they prove that they know what they're doing or not doing. So maybe a certificate in this case was more uh, needed than it would ordinarily be needed in other different professions, different trades or something like that. So that's what we have to say about waiting for degrees and certificates, because this all came about when Dr. Eunice was in the Grameen Bank, and people would come back and they would say, "Yeah, I'm going to start a business once I get my degree." And he had to convince them that you don't need a degree to be able to start a business. You can start a business without having a degree, and you can do just as well. You just needed to provide services to the poor, and you could do that without having a degree and wasting all that time and money to do that. Our next rule, rule number 5, is very closely related to that. It's behave like a job creator. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about. You're creating jobs, small businesses, just as we have here in the United States. Those are the job makers. They they're creators. They create the jobs. And if it wasn't for small businesses and things like that, we would be probably not as in good shape economically as we are now. So we will hit that, and we'll do that on Monday. Tomorrow is Sunday, so we won't do that, but we would do it on Monday. That would be our topic: behave like a job creator. And a lot of the same things that I've been talking about today will hit home as we drive the point that you don't need a certificate, you don't need a degree, but you do need education and knowledge to do that specifically for what you want to do and get it done. So thank you all so much for stopping by, and please leave comments if you have questions, and also subscribe to our podcast. I mean, our uh, podcast. We will be starting podcast, but subscribe and let us know what you think. So thank you all for stopping by, and we appreciate your you doing that, and we will see you on tomorrow on Sunday at 3 o'clock. We won't be talking about the rules again, but we'll be talking about another similar subject. So take care and be good. Let's get this pandemic under control by washing your hands frequently, socially distance yourself, and wear your face mask. Take care. Be good. See you on tomorrow at 3 o'clock.